Hey guys, Nicole Cooper here, and today is Monday. I think it's the 9th, April 8th actually. Ooh, I'm a day off. I was a day ahead. Just wrapping up my day. I look rough, don't I? This is what happens when you work from home. You don't even get dressed. I get dressed, but I don't get cute. Anyway, let's move on. This is today's vlog, and I wanted to just give you guys an update of what I've accomplished today. Some of the things that I worked on this weekend, some of the things that I got epiphanies on, and all that good stuff. Um, Today was a busy day, and I was reading. If you go to productiveflourishing.com, very good site. I think his name is Chris Gilkey. Productive, Productive, flourishing, flourishing.com. I usually go there and I get these like action planners. You can see it. Some of them are kind of complicated, to be honest with you. They're not the most simplified things to use. But I was there on his site. He basically has like a blog post planner. Um, he has some, like, you can do your daily sheets and all that. Some of this stuff honestly is a little too complicated. He's a technical kind of military guy, so a lot of this stuff might be a little bit beyond what we really need. I just needed some basic stuff. So I use them just to jot down, really for the most part, what my daily focus was for today. But on his site, I was reading something called, I think it was called Productive Heat Map or something like that. And he was referencing how we really only have 2 productive hours in a day, which is something that I've read before and I knew about. But he emphasized doing the most important things at the first part of the day. Then I was watching Joyce Myers last night. She said the same thing. She said the things that you kind of dread the most and procrastinate against the most, get them done first thing in the day. So I made a decision. I usually sit down on Saturday evenings. I make sure that my desk is clear. Didn't do a good job last night. But I try to make sure that my office desk is clear. I kind of have mapped out for the week really what I want to accomplish, my weekly goals and things like that. I actually shared some business tips with everyone. And I went on ahead and I mapped out what I needed to do first thing this morning. My podcasts usually take a lot of energy because I'm talking for about 35 to 45 minutes consistently. And sometimes if I wait towards the end of the day, I don't have a lot of energy to put into it, so I push it off, push it off, push it off. So I made a decision to rise this morning, get dressed with the kids, get them out the door, and the minute I got back in here, I did my podcast first. That was great because I felt like I got so much done because those are kind of things that have been riding on my to-do list every day, kind of push to the next day, push to the next day, because I've been making them the last thing of the day that I actually do. So I did that first thing this morning. Then once I did my 2 podcasts, it gave me inspiration for what to do for my motivational Monday. So I came in and I did my motivational Monday, and then what else did I do? I have a list of things here today. And on my podcast, I learned something new today. I basically learned how to split my video clips. I did a podcast where I videoed myself so I can use it for YouTube, and then I split the clip and pull the audio from it. So that's a good key. Two vehicles of information. I can use the video on YouTube to generate leads, and then I can use my audio portion on SoundCloud. If you haven't heard of SoundCloud, you can put audios there, and that's a lead generation tool. So I set that up today, and then I just worked with my assistant. I have my project manager. We got on the phone today for about an hour and a half and covered projects that need to be done and things I needed to do to keep my business in alignment. And it was just one of those things where today was a very productive day. Usually at the beginning of the week I am, and then y'all saw my video on Friday. I was like, ugh, I'm so tired. And it's because my brain is always in working mode, and so I don't get to sleep at night really because I'm thinking in my sleep and all that good stuff. So by the end of the week, I'm wiped out, and then the kids are home for the weekend. You're entertaining the kids, and you got church and running around and doing everything. So the beginnings of the week are always really good for me to get key things done. And yeah, so this weekend, I had a lot of controversy from my videos last week. A lot of people have issues about the coaching training that I did when I talked about I don't do the one-on-one coaching like that. And I think a lot of people, I didn't get into detail to clarify. We actually have so many tools and systems in place that people need to follow. And then we have tons of workshops, we just have an abundance of training. And what I've learned is that it doesn't make sense to tell everyone on a different phone call to do the same thing. We group people up and show them how to do it together, because it's the way of leveraging your time, so that you're, because I found myself when I was doing coaching calls, everybody had the same questions. So it was a lot better to put everybody in, and we do an orientation for our team. And then we have a ridiculous amount of training. Like, some of my team members came back in defense of those videos and said, hey, if people only went through our training, they'll realize that everything you need to know is there. And then we do set up the strategy sessions and stuff like that. But I also realized, I got a lot of ignorant people coming back saying a lot of stuff. I had somebody being really condescending, and trying to be funny, calling us names and being pretty derogatory towards us. And I started realizing, I said, there's a lot of people who are going to get access to these videos that they're not for. When I'm talking about business, I'm talking to the business mindset person, the person who understands what it takes to build a business, what kind of time you have to invest, somebody who knows what it's like to be on this side and know how many hours we can put into building a business, and looking into being efficient, and looking into being more productive with our time. And it doesn't mean that you are looking down on other people. You're using systems. Because when you talk about building wealth, guys, Walt Disney couldn't become wealthy by working every department in Disney himself. He just couldn't. And Walt Disney couldn't have built Disney if he had to train every employee himself. He had to train his key people, who then trained their key people, who then trained the company. So there's always systems and things in place when you have a big vision and you're trying to do a lot. As the overseer, you can't deal with every single aspect of your business hands on. You have to learn how to put systems in place. And so a lot of people who get these videos probably have never owned their own business. A lot of people might not understand what we do, and they might look at people who want to build wealth as evil. They might be at home frustrated and hate their lives. So they come here and they bash what it is that we do. But I do have pretty thick rhino skin. I heard that a training years ago about, you need to be rhino. You have to have tough rhino skin in this industry. When you put yourself out there, you have a lot of critics and a lot of people really trying to find fault in what you're doing, because honestly, they hate their lives. And so they're going to hate you because if you're doing anything that appears that you're doing something to progress in your life, people will tell you that, they'll call you all kind of names. And I empathize for people who are in those positions, because a lot of times people don't know any better. And so I had quite a few people say some derogatory stuff. But at the end of the day, that's the beautiful thing about knowing what God has called you to do, is that you don't look to live your life to please people. And so for all of you out there who are watching and you're trying to build a business and you deal with a lot of criticism, a lot of people who are making fun of your progress, or looking down on you because you're investing in your business, calling you stupid and all these different things, you know, keep pressing forward, because at the end of the day, they're secretly inside desiring that you succeed so that you can make them a believer of success. And so that's kind of where I'm at. I totally know what I'm called to do, totally know where I'm supposed to be going, and I'm not looking to get the approval of people. They call that arrogant. I had somebody say I'm just arrogant and cocky and all this stuff, and I'm like, wow. It just lets me know what state of mind a lot of people are in. So therefore, you know what? I don't entertain it. I realize that this is not for everybody. And when you do something like this in a free social space like YouTube, where anybody can get access to it, it's pretty much up for grabs for all kind of responses and comments and things like that. And so I'll let them have fun doing what they do, basically spending their lives wanting to invest in yours in a negative way. You're putting a lot of energy into you about your videos and all that stuff, not realizing if you took that energy and put it into yourself and tried to better yourself, you could really get yourself to the next level in life. And so, hey, it happens. And I did have quite a bit of that this past weekend because of those videos, and people took offense to them about not coaching people one-on-one. And it let me know there's going to be a great deal of people who, I was looking at a video last night from Zig Ziglar here on YouTube, and he was talking about your attitude is everything. And he was sharing how he had a lady call his assistant one day before he was doing a speaking event, and the lady said she was coming to the event and she was crying, talking about how much she hated her job and how she really wanted to talk to him, and was it possible for the assistant to set up for her to meet him before he spoke at that local engagement. If you guys know Zig Ziglar, he is probably one of the most world-renowned speakers when it comes to sales in the sales industry, but he's a strong Christian guy as well. And so he said, okay, he agreed to meet her. And he said when she got to, he was at, at the event on stage, on one side of the stage. And the lady came and they directed her to the stage, and she was coming behind the curtain to meet him. And he said all across the stage he felt the anger in her feet because she was pounding across that stage hard. You can just tell she was just coming to him angry. And when she got to him, she just started pouring out on him how much she hated her job, and she didn't want this and she didn't want that. And basically she came to him, wanted him to change her circumstances. And so he told her, okay, here's what we're going to do. I need you to pull out a piece of paper. And she was like, why do I need to pull out a piece of paper? He's like, because there's something that I want you to do. And she was like, but why do I have to do that? I want you to tell me what I need to do. He said, I'm telling you what you need to do. And he had to instruct her and say, listen, I realize you came thinking that I'm going to change your life and solve your problems, but that's not how this is going to work. I'm going to guide you and tell you what you can do to change your problem and to change your situation and solve your problem. And if you're not willing to do that, I can't help you. And one of the things that he said is he realized in that moment that there's so many people who come to someone complaining and crying and frustrated about their situation because they want that person to fix it. They don't want to be responsible to fix it. They don't want to be responsible to do what they need to do to fix it. I'm coming to you because you better fix it, and you better fix it now. And if you don't fix it, I'm going to hate you, and I'm going to talk bad about you, and I'm going to tell everybody that you suck, and I'm going to tell everybody that you're robbing people, and you're a scam artist, and you're doing this and you're doing that because you didn't fix my situation that I've been avoiding all my life, right? That's pretty much what they're saying. So he said finally the woman pulled out the piece of paper, and he told her, he said, I want you to write down one thing that you like about your job. She's like, I don't like anything about my job. And he was like, you like absolutely nothing about your job. She said, no, I don't like my job. He said, so you don't like the fact that you get paid? And she was like, well, yeah, I like to get paid. He said, well, write that down. She said, well, I didn't know you meant that. He said, well, let's talk about what you like about your job. So she wrote down that she liked to get paid. He said, do you have benefits? She said, yes. He said, write that down. He said, do you get a chance to take vacations? Do they give you vacation time? She said, yes. Write that down. Do you ever have a project on your job in which you feel really good because you've accomplished something? Yes. And he began to walk her through. He said she later realized there was 22 things about her job that she loved. But what happened is there were some things about herself that she hated. And he said he discovered that in life there's 50-50 in this world. You have 50% of the people that are optimists, 50% of the people that are pessimists. And so you might look at the cup as being half empty. I might look at it as being half full. So everything in your life is half empty. It's never good enough. So you complain about everything. But then you get with me and I show you where the cup is half full. And now you're like, oh gosh, well, yes, it is half full. But I wish that it was full. See, he realized that there's certain people whose mindsets are programmed to be negative about what they do. So no matter what someone does and how they present it to them, they're always going to find the negative part of it because they're programmed to think negative. They may have grew up in an environment where everything about them was negative. Their parents were negative to them and derogatory. They were bullied. They were picked on. There were certain things. And so when you try to come and present something to them, if you don't fix them right away, they're negative towards whatever it is that you do. And as I was listening to him share that, he said the bottom line is that there's so many people who want others to fix their lives when they are trying to avoid responsibility for what they need to do to fix it. He said, and I immediately made a decision that I'm not going to let other people make me feel responsible for fixing their life. I can guide them on what they need to do, but I can only be responsible for what I do and what I'm going to have to take responsibility of in my life. And guys, that's how this game works. You know, I'm in this business to create multiple things, to create freedom, to build an impact, to create income, you know, to build wealth, to begin to formulate opportunity to do the things that I've always desired to do. And I'm not going to allow anyone to make me feel guilty for having that ambition because they want me to fix the fact that they may not have that ambition or the fact that they're not willing to work for it. Now, if I present something to you and show you what I've done, it's up to you to walk the path that I share before you to make sure that you do what you need to do to make it happen. But I can't come to your house and get in your skin and say, okay, let's get up out of bed. Let's put on our clothes. Okay, let's go over here into the office and let's sit down and let's open up a book and let's read for 30 minutes. Okay, now that we've read for 30 minutes, let's go ahead. Let's open up the computer and let's type for another 30 minutes and share what you just learned. Okay, now that you've typed that up, let's go ahead and let's publish this and let's go ahead and put some images on here. Let's go ahead and send an email. I can't come to your house and do that for you. I can come and show you what I'm doing, and it's up to you to take the choice to follow that lead. And some people come and they're under the gun because they want progress now, right? They want progress now. They want results now. And if you don't give it to them now, then they're off to do the next thing, but they're going to say that your thing doesn't work. And what ends up happening is, I remember when I was in real estate, there was a sign in the real estate office that says, your procrastination is not my emergency. So please don't come and expect for me to fix what you procrastinated on. A lot of people's lives have been procrastination. They've never really put any energy into doing something different until now. And now it's an emergency because the financial situation is pretty tight and stressful. So I need you to fix this right now, although I've been lollygagging for the past 15, 20 years of my life. And I've learned not to let someone's pressure of their procrastination to become my emergency. And also, I'm not going to let it make me guilty because you've been procrastinating because you want me to do something that's for you quick, fast, and in a hurry, and I'm not able to do that for you, and you get upset. Instead, all I can do is be here for those who are willing and ready to do whatever it takes to change their circumstances, and I can focus on those people. Focus on those who have the right attitude. Focus on those who are committed to what they need to do, and focus on those who are willing to do whatever it takes without complaining, fussing, or badgering you, or degrading you, or demoralizing you, or going out there and bashing your name to other people because you're not doing what they want you to do. You'll never get a response from anyone doing that. And so I would highly advise that if you have someone that's where you want to be or showing you a new way of life, respect them, appreciate what they're sharing, and give them the utmost esteem. Because, guys, there's a lot of people out here who would not do what we do. And there's a lot of people out here who can care less about if you ever succeed or not. And we actually have a heart to help. So I just want to share that because I got a lot of bashing this weekend. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, I can keep this to myself. And at the end of the day, I can build my own little empire. But that's not why God placed me here. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and allow people to bully me either. I'm going to keep my focus and do what I need to do. And those who appreciate it, you take hold of it. Those who don't come back to my channel and watch these because it's not for you. So that's that. So today, as far as progress is concerned, I don't want to focus on what I made today or how many signups I made. I think you guys get the gist that I've learned how to make money online. What I do want to focus on is success stories. I believe that there's a lot more benefit in me giving shout outs to people who have had their first level of success, just because it just makes all the difference in the world. So I want to just give a shout out to a couple of people. Sean Johnson had his first $3,000 commission, and Sean is within our Dream Team family. I have known Sean for quite a few years. Sean and I were in the same business several years ago, fighting that same fight of struggle, trying to succeed in the internet world, and running around doing visit meetings, calling family and friends, doing all these different things, all to make a couple $100s a month. And that was Sean's story, and he was ready to give up, and he didn't. And today, he had his first $3,000 commission. So congratulations, Sean. And Shalonda Gordon. She had her first $3,000 commission, same story, single mom, working hard, just quit her job 3 months ago, and she made in one day what she used to make in 1 month several months ago. So I want to just give a shout out to them. And then Chanel McCullough. Girl, you did your first video. I'm so proud of you. I'm watching you. I see your growth. I see your library forming. You shared a lot of books in your video about your vlog. So I'm really, really proud of you. Keep up the good work. And trust me, it will all pay off. I keep doing what you're doing. Janine, you reached out to me. You have a story. You have a serious story. And I see your hunger and your desire for change. What I will tell you is it will take a process to get you to where you want to be, but keep being diligent and be committed to changing your circumstances. so you can be where you want to be. We're going to talk. We're going to work with you and work with you in Chicago, get you set up for Chicago. And I know that there's so much in store for you, but I want you to know that you're not being cheated in your life. You're being chosen. You're being chosen because you have a message to share. And there's a lot of impact that you're going to have on a lot of people. And I'm really looking forward to your success story. And I want to help push you in that direction. There's several other people that I can give a shout out to, but we're hitting 20 minutes. So I want to wrap this up and stay tuned for tomorrow's vlog. And see you guys on tomorrow. All right? Bye bye.